When it comes to basketball, every generation has its phenoms. Those players who seem destined to rewrite the record books, redefine the game, and leave fans breathless with their jaw-dropping skills. Could Tre Johnson be one of them?
Step back. The spin from Johnson into Lampkin and finishes strong. Tries to shoot over it. Got it.
Pump, showtime, Johnson!
The Texas Longhorns star has been buzzing in the basketball world recently. Sure, his team missed their chance to make noise in March Madness, but this young prodigy is turning heads, breaking ankles, and dropping buckets like he was born with a basketball in his hands. Is the NBA his next stop, or are there too many red flags? Tre Johnson is a 6'6" shooting guard from Dallas, Texas, and the kind of player who makes scouts drool and coaches daydream. Born with what feels like a natural feel for the game, Johnson has been dominating the court since he was a kid. Whether it's draining threes from the parking lot, slicing through defenses with the grace of a ballet dancer, or locking down opponents on defense, Johnson does it all with swagger. As a high school standout at Lake Highlands High School, Johnson has already cemented himself as one of the top prospects in the nation.
Yeah, how about that body balance? Just talked about he hadn't touched it. Great. Well, how about that quick release? Good elevation on his shot. How about that vertical jump?
As his team gets ready for the Final Four, Tre Johnson puts leg there. Tre Johnson with his first field goal.
His accolades are piling up faster than a LeBron James chase down block, McDonald's All-American, Nike EYBL standout, and a 5-star recruit with offers from every blue blood college program you can think of. But what really sets Johnson apart isn't just his talent, it's his mindset. This kid has the heart of a competitor and the work ethic of a gym rat. This is something that can't be taught. Players either have it or they don't. And Johnson has shown he has that spirit in him and is willing to do whatever it takes to win. Let's break it down. What does Tre Johnson bring to the table that has everyone so excited? Here are some of the key strengths that make him a nightmare for defenders and a dream for coaches. If there's one thing Tre Johnson does better than just about anyone else, it's shoot the rock. This kid has a jumper so smooth it could be mistaken for butter. His range is virtually unlimited. He can pull up from NBA three-point range without breaking a sweat.
Larry Johnson transition three. So to Johnson, he'll fire and buries it.
Yagi's leading scorer misfires from three. Tre Johnson.
But it's not just the distance that's impressive, it's the efficiency. Johnson shoots with a quick release, textbook form, and a confidence that makes it feel like it is going in every time the ball leaves his hands. Whether he's spotting up, coming off screens, or creating his own shot off the dribble, Johnson is a walking bucket. Johnson isn't just a catch and shoot guy. He's got a bag of tricks that would make a magician jealous. His handle is tight and he uses it to create separation from defenders with crossovers, step backs, and hesitation moves. Once he gets into the lane, he's a crafty finisher who can score through contact or float the ball over taller defenders.
Johnson, Texas with numbers, give and go. Tre Johnson.
Here's Tre Johnson with the fadeaway. Good.
We'll be here Sunday afternoon. Johnson with the right hand.
By Diarra. Diarra is doing his job. And Johnson makes...
His ability to create his own shot is what separates him from being just a great shooter to being a complete offensive weapon. One of the most underrated aspects of Johnson's game is his basketball intelligence. He reads defenses like a seasoned veteran, knowing when to attack, when to pull back, and when to get his teammates involved. He's not just a scorer, he's a playmaker who understands the nuances of the game. Whether it's making the right pass out of a double team or cutting off ball to get an easy bucket, Johnson's IQ is off the charts.
Team tonight.
They're a very good free throw shooting team.
Boy, what a night.
While Johnson is known primarily for his offense, he's no slouch on the defensive end either. His length, quickness, and instincts make him a disruptive force. He's got the tools to be a lockdown defender at the next level, especially if he continues to add strength and refine his technique. Johnson takes pride in his defense, and that's a trait that will endear him to coaches and teammates alike. Some players shrink in big moments, meanwhile, others thrive. Tre Johnson is firmly in the latter category, and he is ready to step up when the spotlight shines brightest. Whether it's hitting a game-winning shot or making a crucial defensive stop, Johnson has a knack for rising to the occasion. His confidence never ever wavers, and that mental toughness is a trait that can't be taught.
By Conwell, he's going to elevate, corner three, and he sticks it.
Now, let's pump the brakes for a second. As talented as Tre Johnson is, he's not a finished product. Like any young player, he has areas where he needs to improve if he wants to reach his full potential. Here are the key weaknesses that scouts have noted. At 6 feet 6 inches and around 190 pounds, Johnson has a usual physical frame for a shooting guard. However, he's still on the slender side, and that can be a disadvantage when going up against bigger, stronger opponents. Adding muscle will be crucial for him to handle the physicality of the college and NBA game, especially when driving to the rim or defending bigger guards. While Johnson has the tools to be a great defender, he's not there, at least not yet. He can sometimes lose focus or get caught ball watching, leading to breakdowns. Improving his footwork, quickness, and overall defensive discipline will be key if he wants to become a two-way star. There are a few other parts of his game that need to be addressed if he wishes to be in the NBA. For example, Johnson is a capable passer, but he's not yet a true point guard. When faced with intense defensive pressure, he can sometimes struggle to make the right read or create for others. Developing his playmaking skills will make him even more dangerous and versatile. Furthermore, like with any elite scorer, there's a fine line between being aggressive and being reckless. Johnson has a tendency to settle for tough, contested shots when he could instead choose to move the ball or attack the rim. Learning to pick his spots more wisely will make him a more efficient scorer and make him even more attractive to the league. What would NBA fans get if they tuned in for a Tre Johnson game? We all know that every young prospect gets compared to NBA stars. It's only natural, and Tre Johnson is no exception. While it's important to remember that he's his own player, there are a few NBA comparisons that make sense based on his skill set and playing style. The Phoenix Suns' superstar is the most common comparison for Johnson, and it's easy to see why. Like Booker, Johnson is a lethal shooter with a smooth stroke and the ability to score from anywhere on the court.
In the other direction. Booker, full of three on the way.
His move.
Booker goes into his move to beat the buzzer, puts it.
Both players are also crafty off the dribble and have a knack for getting buckets in bunches. If Johnson can develop his playmaking and defense like Booker has, he could have a similar impact at the next level. Beal is another high-scoring shooting guard who shares many similarities with Johnson. Both players are three-level scorers who can light it up from deep, attack the rim, and hit mid-range jumpers with ease.
On the ball reversal, those trailers are still coming. Here and Beal.
Beal's ability to carry an offense and perform in clutch moments is something Johnson could emulate. If Johnson reaches his full potential on both ends of the floor, he could resemble a player like Paul George. George is a two-way star who can score at will and lock down the opposing team's best player.
George came over to help out and blocks the shot.
Is on the floor. You know why? It's like taking candy from a baby. Let me take your hand, get you foul.
Johnson has the tools to be that kind of impact player if he continues to develop his defense and physicality. While Johnson is more of a shot creator than Thompson, their shooting prowess is comparable. Thompson's ability to catch fire and change the game with his shooting is something Johnson could replicate.
It seems like he just is not comfortable. Thompson, yes, another.
Gives him time to get set and knock it down.
A long three for Thompson.
If Johnson can also bring Thompson's defensive intensity, he'll be a force to be reckoned with. At this point, it seems clear that the sky's the limit for Tre Johnson. With his combination of shooting, scoring, and basketball IQ, he has all the tools to be a star at the college level and beyond. Right now, he is doing big things for the Longhorns, posting 19.8 points on 43% from the field and 39% of his threes. He's also putting up 3.0 rebounds and 2.8 assists per game. It is a shame that Texas didn't get far in the NCAA tournament this year because Johnson would have been able to show off on his biggest stage yet. Still, scouts are wild about Tre, and he is a projected top pick in the 2025 NBA draft. He obviously has the potential to be a highly sought-after lottery pick and a franchise cornerstone. His ability to score in a variety of ways makes him a perfect fit for today's positionless, perimeter-oriented game. If he can address his weaknesses and continue to develop, there's no telling how far he can go. go. Watching Tre Johnson play is like witnessing a symphony of basketball brilliance. Every move, every shot, every pass is executed with a precision and flair that leaves you wanting more. He's the kind of player who can take over a game, silence a crowd, or ignite a comeback with a single flick of his wrist. But what makes Johnson truly special isn't just his talent, it's his passion for the game. This kid loves basketball, and it shows every time he steps on the court. So, is Tre Johnson the next big thing? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure, the basketball world better buckle up, because the Tre Johnson experience is just getting started. And trust me, you don't want to miss it.